This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jill Murphy. I'm the Associate Director of Membership and Post Operations, and I'm joined by my colleagues Ann McLeod and Katya Watts today. And we wanted to talk just a little bit about the membership structure for companies and organizations, since there's still, I think, some confusion out there. But like I said, if you have a question, certainly pop it into the chat. We'll be monitoring that. And with that, let's move to our agenda. Um, we'll talk sort of about the history of the membership structure and the dues, the news due structure and the renewal process, and then some of the post reports that are available. So almost 2 years ago, our board approved changes in our membership structure and dues. It was a really long process. It was probably almost 4 years from start to finish as we conducted focus groups. We got lots of feedback. We had feedback from years of experience doing this. And we realized we needed to serve our post members better. Um, and that was because we had this overly complicated structure that didn't treat all people equally. We needed more flexibility, and we also really wanted to eliminate duplicate records. We're getting close to having most of them gone, but there's still a few out there. So that was sort of the background. And part of that background is understanding a lot of people were perplexed about the increases. And we approached this in a way that we looked at this as a business. Yes, we're a nonprofit, but we still have hard costs. And so we looked at what the hard cost to serve a member was. And that's how we came up with the new dues amounts, which we will do that every year as part of our budget process. Doesn't mean we'll have an increase every year, but we now have a process to look at this and see where we are. We will always keep the government, the military folks, nonprofit academia at the lowest level possible. But there is, as I said, a hard cost, and we wanted to make sure that we were at a minimum covering all of our costs to serve each and individual member. So the new structure obviously now allows people to engage anywhere. So any person that is a member can join any post anywhere. They used to be limited to 3 if it was an individual member, and if you were a old S rep, you were limited to where you could participate based on which posts your company was a member of. So we did away with most of that, and we now allow people to join whatever post and however many posts they want. So one is included with their membership, regardless of whether they pay for it as an individual or their company pays for their membership. And then they can add posts as they go along. Um, this just allows a lot more flexibility for everybody, and it treats everybody equally. And that was really one of the things we were really trying to get at is consistency and equity across all of our member types. It also sort of streamlines membership operations in that individuals can now um, go into their member profile, they can update, they can change information. They're not reliant on a company point of contact to do that. Okay, so the changes went into effect for individuals, and that was new individuals on August 1st, 2021. And the company dues changes went into effect January of 2022. And starting July last year, all renewing companies and new company memberships are in the new structure. So the one person, one post per company, but it doesn't include the people, right? People are now separate, but they can join any post that they want. And then the individual memberships that come with the company membership, they can assign to whoever they want. Um, if you are a really small company, so that's sort of a 1 to 10 person company, 3 memberships are included. And if you are more than 10 employees, then 6 individual memberships are included. Um, the emphasis here is that companies purchase people and posts separately. And we've eliminated sort of that rep slot, or, some people call them seats. Um, there's also no more sort of swapping. So we used to see a lot of companies try and swap members in and out. If an individual who belongs to a company membership and has been paid for by that company leaves employment, their membership is an individual membership and it goes with them. This is really to help us eliminate that duplicate record situation that we have had for so many years. Um, we tell people, if you have a membership or you've had a membership with SAME, um, and you've changed companies, contact us. Katya, who manages all of our day-to-day interaction with members services, she will look up their record. She can update it and give them access to renew their membership and update their information. Don't create a second record under your personal email, because that just gives us another record and you won't be able to do anything anyhow. It won't tie to your membership. So we encourage all people to have a personal email as well as a business email. That way we can reach you if you leave your company and we get a bounce back. We do that. But again, the big change really is that people and posts are purchased separately for company members. The post related changes, one post for each company. We are seeing, amazingly, we weren't sure what would happen when we changed the structure because of the separation of people and posts. But we ran some numbers the other day, and companies are adding posts. They're not really dropping posts like we kind of thought they might if they were basing it on just the fact that they had people in locations where they might not be doing business or headquartered, but that's not the case. We're not seeing that at all. And in fact, they're joining additional posts where they want to have a presence and engage. So, like I said, the advantage is they don't now have to purchase a post just for one person to join. That person can join any post of their choosing. And if they want to join addition posts, again, fee is $10. So, individual changes. We have a corporate rate now. So if a company has a membership, they have a membership rate of $95, which is reduced from regular rate of $125. And if an individual wants to join that is part of a company that's a member, regardless of who's paying for it, they'll get that reduced corporate rate. A little bit less for young professionals, that's 60 versus 75. And again, they all include one post and then can add additional posts for $10 a piece.
Hey,
Posts
Jill.
yeah.
Sorry, we have a quick question from Cherise. Hey, Cherise. Just wanting to clarify that when the company buys the corporate membership for a post, they get 6 individual memberships with their corporate membership. Do all 6 individuals get assigned to the corporate post, or can the company assign all of the individuals to 6 different posts?
Yeah, so that goes totally to our new flexibility, which is they can join, those individuals can be assigned to any post the company wants. There is no restrictions on who or where they assign their people. So if the company's primary post, say, is San Antonio, since we're going there in 10 days, but they've got somebody who wants to belong to San Francisco, they can assign them to San Francisco. There is no restriction on where those people can be allocated. So that's the great part about this, is that if you have people that are, one-offs that don't work in a location where your company has a presence or is primarily located, and they're in Alaska, they can join the Anchorage post, or they can join the New Jersey post. It's totally up to them. So we wanted to make sure that that's clear with you all, that yep, they can join wherever they want, and they can join additional posts. We literally have people who belong to 10, 12 posts now. So post membership is not declining, which is great. So the individual can select their post. Somebody popped that into the chat. Yeah, individuals can select their own post. We typically ask the company, where would you like this person to participate, which post, and they'll tell us. But yeah, sometimes people just pick their own. So um, those are the new flexibility things that we moved into this new system. Um, all right. Anything else in the chat, Anne?
We have Mark who says he had a member of a small business, 1 to 10 employees, ask, what is the benefit of paying more for a company membership? It's cheaper for an individual. That is a great question that we get all the time.
We do. We do. So as a company, then you are in our member directory as a company member, and you can put all sorts of things into your company profile that will allow people to find your company. Um, we are getting ready to launch a new company directory, and we hope it will be fancier and swankier than the one that we currently have. But it will have a lot of that same information where you can put in your primary NAICS code, additional NAICS codes, where you do business, where you have offices, how many people you have, who are your contacts, all of that sort of information. So we frequently will get requests for, do you know somebody that does, is a small business that does construction in Albuquerque that's in, this particular NAICS code or has these particular capabilities. And the directory is a great way for our bigger companies as well as our government people to find you as a company, to find out who you are, what you do, what your capabilities are. So you don't have that on the individual side, but as a company member, that is one of the biggest benefits that we hear from our companies, is to be listed in the company directory. It also gives you, if you choose to exhibit at any of the national events, it does give you the member rate for that. You are not capable of exhibiting as an individual, even though you are part of a company. So you have to be a company to exhibit. So those are the two big benefits, but really it's it's also the profile of being a member of SAME as a company, and being recognized for that. Many of our posts do list their company members on their websites. They announce new members in newsletters, so it's a great way for your company to get visibility and not just you as an individual. Anything else?
I think that covers it for now.
Okay. All right. So moving along, like I said, companies can include, as many people as they want on their company membership, or, we have had a couple of companies who have said, you know what, we're going to just do the basics on our company invoice, and then they've told their people, if you want to continue your membership, go ahead, and we will reimburse you for it. But for the most part, we are absolutely seeing companies renew as they have in the past. They are not making major changes for the most part. And the big change for the companies is really when that individual potentially leaves the company, they would take that membership with them, but then we bill them directly when it comes time to renew. We don't bill the company. Okay, we do have some other new options, which include the primary point of contact for communications for companies does not have to be a member. We can add multiple points of contact for membership. Usually it's no more than 2. We try to limit it to that, but sometimes there's bigger companies have 2 or 3 people. There's a primary person and then the additional folks. We now have the opportunity to add marketing or exhibit point of contacts for sponsorships and things like that. And then sort of the C-level, maybe it's not a CEO who's going to participate on a regular basis, but to get special CEO level invitations for events that we do predominantly at the national level. So these are folks that don't need to be members. We just attach them to the company record, and they don't ever appear on a roster, but they are, in fact, points of contact that we can provide. If you want to say you want to point of contact for sponsorships for your post, you can ask us for that, and we can let you know if that company has a POC for exhibiting or sponsors. Okay, I think most of you have seen this, but this is the new company and organization membership rates. Again, that first piece is the employee count, the national dues, the additional post fee, and then the corporate rates for individuals and then young professionals. So one thing I would say is that the 1 to 10 category, the reason that we only included 3 is because like 95% of our companies that are in that category only had 1 or 2 people. So it didn't make sense to give them 3, and that helped us keep the national dues level down for those smaller companies. Okay, I wanted to switch gears and make sure everybody understood our renewal process and how we run that here at the national office. We have a very well-oiled machine on this. We send renewal emails out to company POCs at least 60 days prior to their expiration date. So if a company is due to expire the end of the month, usually 60 days prior to that, we will send them an email. It is an email invoice, and it shows all of the people and the posts, and it has a link for them to pay with a credit card online. We ask the companies to review the renewal invoice and say, who do we want to keep? Which posts do we want to keep? Do we want to add posts? Who are we including? Who should be removed? All of the same things that we've done for years. We continue to do that. Then we send them a revised invoice and a link, and they can pay online, and that has generated a lot of renewals in that first 60-day window. If we don't get them to renew in that first 30 days, we then send them a snail mail invoice, reminders, follow-ups. We do that throughout until we get to the point where they are actually expired. So then we reach back out to them again. And so many people, and this goes for individuals and companies, don't even realize that they have expired. And so we continue to try and reach back to them even after they've expired. And we do get a fair amount of people that renew. So that's our renewal process here. We do everything that we can. We also encourage you as posts to reach out to the folks who are up for renewal to remind them it's time to renew. Probably 80% of membership gets their value at the post level. So when they hear from you about renewal, it's just another touch point to say, hey, yeah, it's not just the national office asking me for money. I do get value from going to my post events, and I want to make sure that I continue to engage there. And yeah, I'll renew. Oh, I guess I titled this slide wrong, but on our renewals, we do ask for 30 days of receiving your renewal invoice if you can provide your updates. Katya makes those pretty quick, and we have a new member of staff on the membership team. His name is Steve Fontaine. You might see something come from him. He is also working on updating rosters and getting invoices out to folks. If they want to add, we ask that they do it during the renewal cycle. But if you want to do it all of a sudden, you've decided, you know what, hey, we want to do business in Coastal Carolina, we need to get that added to our membership, we will send them a prorated invoice, and then it will be shown on their next corporate renewal. Same thing with individuals. They can add individuals throughout the year, and we will prorate them, and then they'll be added to the invoice at the time of renewal the next time that company comes up for renewal. Okay, post reports. This has been a big question lately, and I want you to know that we are diligently working on getting your post reports online again. But in the meantime, please email us at posts@same.org. Be sure to include your post name because we have 95 posts and we don't always know who's where. And just request your rosters. We turn those around pretty quickly. We give you a couple of different reports. There is the member report, which contains only our active paid members. So if a member has gone beyond their expiration date, they will not be on that report. They will be on the grace period report, which is the next one. So that's the report that shows the folks that are in that 60-day window after they've technically expired, but before they have completely lapsed and are no longer considered a member. So there are those are the two primary reports. We have them for both organizations, companies, and then individuals. And then we also have another report, which is sort of the lapsed member report. If you want to know who has dropped off your roster, we can send that to you. These reports are all in Excel. They are sortable. So if you want to know who's new or who's up for renewal, you can sort it by join date and renewal date or expiration date, and you will be able to figure out who those people are very quickly. Like I said, we are working on the post portal, which will have your reports and lots of other community features that are coming. I don't want to tell you exactly everything, but we're going to have the one big feature is each post will have their own sort of online community. So that way members of your post can communicate with each other through the post portal, and that's coming soon, I hope. So with that, if we have any more questions in the chat.
Okay, Jill. I'm scrolling up here to see. There was one that Gil asked and said there appears to be a difference in headcount between the monthly status reports and the reports National provides to the Post. Is there any way to better understand this delta?
That is a really great question, Gil, because I have been looking at this. A couple of our posts have pointed this out, and we are working with our consultant to make sure that what we are providing in these two different reports are accurate. You're not the first post to mention this to me, so we do have him sort of looking at this, and as far as I can tell, they look accurate. And usually I can piece things back. But the one thing I want to mention about our new systems is that they are incredibly date driven. So if a company or a member, individual member, is due for renewal and they don't renew, and then they get past their 60-day grace period, they drop. And a lot of times things change in the database literally daily. I cannot tell you. I think in the month of April so far, we have had over 180 new members. So usually around JETC and SBC, we do get a lot of activity and things change in the database. People tell us to drop members because they're no longer with the company. People move. But if you have a specific question, I'm happy to help you work through that. It is a little bit of a challenge, but we are aware that a lot of the posts are having some difficulty answering that question of like, well, how did I end last month, start this month with X number, and now I only have Y? So I'm happy to sort of help you work through that.
Okay. Jill, Charisse, I'm sorry, were you going to say something?
Nope.
Okay. Charisse had a request, which Katja had already replied, and she asked if on the reports that we could provide both the company professional email address as well as their private or alternate email address. And Katja replied that we can amend the reports so we can include both of those emails for people to make it easier for you guys to communicate.
Yeah, absolutely. We can amend that. I will make that note.
Okay. And Marilyn asked if students at colleges and universities can still join for free, which Katja did already reply to and said yes, they must be a full-time student under the age of 25.
Right. That's one of the big challenges we sometimes face. People don't understand, but the student membership is designed for the student that has never been employed and theoretically has no extra funds to pay for dues. Yeah, 25 or under, and they must be full-time students. So yes, that's still an option, and they can join right online, super easy. They can pick a post as well. So.
All right, that's I think that covers all the questions that we have gotten in. And just to clarify, we will send out the recording for this as well as a slide deck so you can share it with your other post leaders at your post. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Amy
Amy's
just
asked a good question.
yes. Go for it, Jill.
Yeah, so public agency memberships. This is the only membership that is still a multi-year membership. So public agencies, we allow them to join for 3 years, and it includes 6 people. And it is the great selling point about this is, one, it's really inexpensive, and they don't have to go back year after year begging for dues money. So it's a 3-year membership for public agencies. That's the big selling point for them, is that they don't have to go back year after year and ask to, for the renewal money. And we do have, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 40 public agencies, and a lot of them are at the local level, so they might be county or city. But we do have a number of federal agencies as well. So benefits with conference fees, absolutely. They fall into the government category. So if you are a government member and you want to attend JETC, I think, Ann, that's what, 145 or thereabouts?
Yes.
For registration?
Around that price tag, yes.
Yeah. So huge benefit for them to being a member, because otherwise then they pay a much higher rate to attend events at the national level.
Yes.
Okay. Kind of looks like it for today. Thanks for joining us. If you have questions in the meantime, you can certainly email me, or you can email hosts@same.org, and we are happy to help you with anything that you need. The national office is absolutely here to help you be successful as a post. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll get the information out to you shortly. Have a great afternoon.